Welcome to episode 12 of Tool Time with Professor Levy. Today, Saida is here with me in the Black Box, or our studio theater upstairs, and we are going to explore some of the equipment and functionality of this room up here. Cool.
All right. So, what the first question is, what are the white things hanging above?
So, above my head, there are one, two, three different PTZ cameras is what they are. So in the control room, there is a little joystick that allows us to move these cameras around. They stay where they are, but they swivel and they pan and tilt and zoom. So we're able to take a feed of what's going on in here and send it to any of our TVs around the building, or if we have a show that we're doing in here, we are able to put a TV monitor where the stage manager and the lighting and soundboard operators are and send that camera feed to them so that they can see what's going on behind the curtains.
All right. So, why are those curtains and tracks everywhere?
So the black curtains that are hung from the track goes entirely around the room, and the curtains are in one, two, three, four, five, six different sections. What this enables us to do is to configure this room and hide the things that we want the audience not to be able to see almost in any manner that we want. You can't see it, but Saida is currently standing on a platform or some seating platforms that we built in here, 2 years ago now, I guess it was, when we did a production of Eclipsed up in here. I'm standing currently where the set was, and behind me was another bank of chairs that we took out. I forget the seating count that we had in here, but we were able to get a good-sized audience in here. But the set wouldn't always be right where I'm standing. Maybe sometimes we would want the set where Saida is, or the set behind me, so the curtains allow us to configure the space sort of almost any way we want to do.
Okay. So, the next question is, why are the weird seams on the floor?
So the seams on the floor, this floor is a Marley dance floor. So it comes in strips. It's a really soft floor for the dancers to be able to move around on and cushion their feet. So the seams are just joining the floor together.
Stuff on the wall.
The black stuff on the wall. So there are two different black stuffs on the wall. So we have this ridged black stuff on the wall, and then we have these soft black panels above it. The black panels above here are sound deadening, so that the sound doesn't bounce everywhere around this room. And then these panels here are the opposite and are to help bounce the sound around. So basically, it is walking a balance between making the room sound alive and not too dead. All that fabric from the panels eats up the sound. So this allows it to just keep being broadcast around the space a little bit.
Okay. So, what's behind this curtain?
Behind this curtain is where we most often have, this is where the light board would be if it wasn't on the main stage from the projects for Professor Weaver's class the other day. And then next to it, we have our little baby soundboard. This is, if I can find the power switch. There we go. So now we are into our soundboard over here. So this is made by the same manufacturer, Allen and Heath. It's the same series of soundboard. It's the D-Live, but the model is the S3000. This board does all the things that our board in the control room does. It just has less faders. So just like on the board in the booth, I'm able to jump through the different pages. We have this set up here. So all of these BB1 through 16 are the wireless microphones for in here. And then we have 16-9 and so on. And they are all the wired inputs and outputs on the wall. And we'll actually go take a look at them in a minute too. On this page, we have it set up for an iPod and a Bluetooth connectivity device. We have this set up for the dancers so that when they come in here, they can rehearse in here.
Okay.
I was saying we were going to take a look at a panel. Well, it's really dark here. Let's look at a different panel. There's going to be one on this wall over here, I believe. Yes, right here. So these are called broadcast service panels, BSP for short. They all have a number. This is BSP 17.
Oh, where's that?
And it says here, just Norfolk State University, Black Box Theater, House Right, because they assumed we were going to set it up a certain way, BSP 17. And these broadcast service panels do a whole lot of things. Here we have video routing. So in and out for video. So we could set a camera up here, or we could set a TV up here, like I was talking about before, behind the curtain for the stage manager and sound and lighting operators to see what was going on. We could put that into one of these here and send them a feed of what's going on from these cameras. Intercom, so that's our Clearcom headsets that we were able to talk to people backstage with, so they can plug in here. Audio net is for the soundboard to connect to. I am actually not sure what HouseNet is. And then here we have in and out for audio. So ins being microphones, outs being speakers. And these are all numbered. So this says in 17, 18, 19, and 20. So if we went back to the soundboard over there, we would see 17, 19, 18, 19, and 20 on it over there. And these are all over the building. These are all over the main stage. They're all through the amphitheater downstairs out by the study lounge. So there's a great amount of connectivity in this building.
Okay.
What else were we going to talk about?
What's behind this curtain?
Excellent. So behind this curtain here is a giant mirror. So this is just a mirror so that the dancers can see what they're doing while they're dancing, and has a ballet bar for them to be able to do what they need to do. And then you can probably see reflected in the mirror up above the door that we walked through is a giant projector. If you pan up with this guy, there you go. So that's our projector there. So that projector projects onto, there's a screen that we can lower down from the just below the grid over there. Okay, so if we go back over to where we were, there's a ladder right here that leads up to our tension wire grid. Okay, so we are now up on top of the tension wire grid. As I pan the camera down, you can see the dance bar and the mirror through the floor, and you can see the aircraft cable wires of the tension wire grid here, and then down even lower through the grid you can see the seating area that we were talking about. So the way a tension wire grid works is these pieces of aircraft cable run continuously across each of these segments and are woven in with each other. And so it provides an immense amount of stability. It feels a little bit like a trampoline. And then we have up here all of these pipes that are hung from the ceiling. and this is where we hang our lights from. And pan across.
I think a good question is, what is the weight capacity up here for a person to hang lights and speakers and stuff like that up here?
I would have to. There's a plaque on the wall down there, but it's like 300 pounds.
Okay.
It's or more. This is rated for a whole lot of weight.
Okay. Good.
Oh yeah, no, it's really safe up here. Everything obviously is painted black because we don't want to see it up here. One thing that we're probably going to change at some point in the future is these cable troughs that have all the wire running through them.
This.
Yep.
Okay.
I would like to paint them or put some sort of masking material up so on the off chance you don't see all these crazy wires everywhere. But that's not a huge priority. We have speakers that are mounted up here against the wall over there. And then, so where Saida's hand is, is where we hang all the lights from up in here. These are using rotolocks is what this piece of hardware is called. This is called a rotolock. So if we wanted to, we could raise or lower and reconfigure where all the hanging positions are. Mm-hmm. What was I'm gonna come past you.
Okay.
We have a bucket here in the corner that we can raise and lower for whatever we've forgotten or need to be hauled up and down from up here. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to go up and down 10,000 times. What I did want to talk about is this piece of cable coming out of the ceiling here. Try to get to one that I can see some numbers on. So, okay, so we've talked about lighting. This box up here says 343 through 348, and those are the dimmer numbers that come out of this box here. Then this is called sockaplex, and it takes all of these wires up here and splits them out in this pigtail as individual circuits. So the pigtail itself has the individual wires here are labeled 1 through 8, I believe, and that allows you to figure out which circuit number in that range of 343 through 348 it actually is. And from there you plug the light into the socket.
So a good question is, if you ever been to a concert, that is what they actually have in the back with like the band and stuff like that.
Yeah, they probably do because it's a really the sockaplex is a really easy way of containing a whole lot of wires together, so that you just run one big thick cable, and it only breaks out into the individual runs when you get close to where those runs are actually going to. That way you don't have 10,000 cables going everywhere.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so while we were up there, Saida asked me a question about what it was rated for up there. So we have this little plaque right here that says, warning, it's a tension wire grid. It says its maximum load is 20 pounds per square foot. It says its maximum point load is 300 pounds. Don't jump around and be crazy. So point load. So if you were to think about, I like to bring the example of an elephant. Elephants are huge, right, and weigh a whole lot.
Yeah, they weigh a ton.
So if an elephant's foot stepped on you, that'd hurt, right?
Yeah.
A woman's high-heeled shoe exerts more PSI, pounds per square inch, than an elephant's foot. Even though the person doesn't weigh as much as the elephant, because all of that weight is concentrated into one skinny little point, it exerts a much, much greater force. So, I'm 250 pounds, but I'm 2 feet, right?
But
So, one foot is seeing half of that weight, the other foot is seeing the other half of that weight. So, even though I'm close to 300 pounds, I'm not putting all of that weight on one location.
It's on both.
Distributed, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what the whatever it said, 20 pounds per square foot rating is for. Okay, thank you for watching this episode of Tool Time with Professor Levy. I wanted to bring everybody up into the studio theater because we've talked about a whole lot of different things and a whole lot of different spaces that we have and the technology we have, but we haven't talked about this space at all yet. And this part of our building has just as much technology and infrastructure as the rest of the building does. So I wanted to introduce you to some of the different things that we are able to do here. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you learned something.
Good day.